Unfortunately, it is extremely windy today, but it's 58 degrees and the sun is shining, so we're going to attempt the streetlight installation anyways. So I have a brand new American Electric 115 high pressure sodium streetlight. This is new old stock, I believe from 2018. I have a new 100 watts high pressure sodium bulb, which I got at the Home Depot a couple days ago, and I have a Moggle to E26 adapter to make the bulb fit in the fixture, and I have a temporary power cord that does not meet the requirements of this project. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to feed a cord, an extension cord, up through the pipe. I have no outlet over there yet, so for now it temporarily will just be connected on an extension, and that supply lead there does not meet the temperature requirements, but it's still pretty cold out. I'm not concerned about it. In a couple months, when the revenue goes back up, I will buy some more wire and I'll put outlets, UF outlets, where they need to be to plug this in properly. That should be able to be done by June, I think. The revenue just tanks in January, and it takes several months for it to recover, so I can't rationalize spending a few $100s on wire for a hobby project right now. Okay. Hitting the joint now, it's not going through. I guess this is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was. Yeah, that's not going to go. Alright, so I guess I'm going to have to sneak something down through this side first, which hopefully I can pass through the junction a little bit easier this way. Yeah, there we go. I can feel it pushing the cord out now. Okay. So I'll push this through, I'll plug it in, and I should be able to pull it back. Like we're doing a plumbing clean out right now. Alright, it's through. Jeez, listen to that wind. Wow. I was getting readings of 17 miles per hour on the ground level last time I checked, which is very, very strong, because in the tree line and so forth, it's probably 2 or 3 times that. Huh. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so here's our cord that we're going to use to plug it in. And then we've got our brackets here I'm going to get some screws and some other materials together. I'm going to bring all this stuff outside and we'll pick up from there. because I don't think I can get on a ladder with it like this. The wind is still very gusty, but we are getting occasional periods where it calms down for a few minutes. It's gusting right now. We're going to set the street light up, and then I'll set the ladder up and have everything ready to go outside. And then when it gets calmed down a bit, we'll head out and try to get it going. So I forgot before that we also need a photoelectric cell. So I got one of those out. That's not good. My finger just fell apart. This has the number 10, indicating it's 100 watts. These things are so cool. Alright, so we're going to set the wire up inside because I think we're only going to have a very short period of time that we can actually be on the ladder. This wire is only good for 60 degrees Celsius, and these call for 90 degrees Celsius, so it's not a correct fix-up. It's also stranded wire, and these kind of terminals should really have solid wire, or at least tinned wire. So this is just totally wrong, but it's only temporary, mostly just for the test over the next couple of weeks until I can afford to buy the rest of the wire. It's also still getting pretty cold at night. It's only been in the 30s at night, so it's not like it's running that hot. So go figure, the cable I picked to use has a weird wiring scheme, and we no longer know what color goes to what, so we're gonna have to get the meter out and find out. Okay, so we'll set this up for continuity mode, and let's see what we got here. Prior to that, we are going to need to strip the wires. I would expect that the green is ground, but I guess we should not do any assuming, because it might not be. Alright, let's see, where does our blue wire go? So blue is the common, and ground is the green. So therefore brown is the high side. What a very odd color schema. Okay. So normally we would not put the cord on first because the pole needs to go through first. But in this case, since the wire's just going to go through the pole, we're going to plug it in and push it through. It won't matter. We can do it first. And this, of course, is made of some material that does not cut. Those are not even cutters. Okay, let's open this up. Well, something just fell. You know what that might have been? That might have been the door for the air conditioner control. So technically this should have those little circular pieces on it. But we're not going to do that because this is really just very temporary. This will make a decent connection. But it's not ideal. Okay, and we have the blue. No, the blue. I don't even remember what we tested it as. The brown is the high side. So the blue goes into the white. Here goes that wind again. It's no joke right now. I think there's 45-mile-an-hour winds. That's enough to do some damage. It's enough to take the power out too, if a tree branch falls or something. Okay. Now, it'd be nice to have something to strap this down. I think I might tie a knot in here. Open this up a little bit more too. Oh boy, I think we got a problem. I knew this is going too smoothly. I think this is only 1 1/4. That was close. It's 1 3/4. Wow, that was really close. Okay, we're good. So this will just give us a little bit of strain relief in case for some reason the wire gets pulled. It won't be forcing on the terminals. You definitely don't want that. What the heck is going on here? Whatever, that'll hold it in place. I have to open that, open the mechanism here a fair bit more. Fortunately, I have a nice socket set now, and I can get a socket wrench that will work properly. Alright, I don't remember exactly what size these are. It's probably standard. Okay then, it's not 5/8. It's not a half. It's not a 13. Maybe it's a 14. 15's kind of loose. It's got to be 14 then, maybe. Huh, it's metric. It's a better system anyways. I don't know why we don't use the metric system in this country. It really doesn't make any sense. Because the standard measurements, or what this country calls the standard system, it makes no mathematical sense considering how our numbers work. Yeah, sure is nice to have something that works. Alright, I think that's enough. Actually, yeah, that should be enough. Let's go a little bit more. Alright. Now let's get the bulb in there. We're going to check it because always test things before you put them up. A little dusty in there. So this is a converter from Moggle, which is the socket size of the light, to E26, which is the socket size of the bulb. I have a bunch of Moggle bulbs, but I refuse to use any of my stock until I can no longer buy these new at the Home Depot or whatever store. These are cheaper than an LED bulb. It's the Feet Electric brand. Made in China. Contains mercury. Just about all good sources of lighting, with the exception of halogen and incandescent, contain mercury. This light is from August 5th, 2018. It's incredible to think that these were made up until that recently. I'm sure this was probably one of the last couple ones made. But now this whole LED debacle really didn't start all that long ago. I know at least around here, a lot of the LED lights were put in around 2018. Or at least they started to anyways. Alright, so we'll put the photoelectric cell on. Okay. And I will have to cover it. Here we go. The power cord does not reach the outlet. I typically don't like to hold things while I plug them in for the first time, but I have no choice here. It's working. Let's just make sure the cell turns it off. Yep. All is well with the fixture. Okay, it's time to go outside and see if we can get this on the pole without being blown off the ladder. That is the problem I did not foresee. Can't push the wire down because it's stuck at the bottom. Okay, that has solved the problem. So, that's okay. I can work around this problem. Doesn't fit. About a hair too small. That's not gonna go. You gotta be kidding me. it's off, but it's got to be less than a millimeter. Some more. You know what? I'm going to try to attach it here on the ground. I don't think I'm going to be able to lift it up. I think the mechanical advantage is going to be way too much. I'm going to give it a shot. The cords come up and sit in there somewhere. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, it's heavy. No, I can't do it. It actually was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. There's actually very little on this. I'm surprised. Pleasantly surprised, but still surprised. What changed? There we go. Now it's sitting this properly. is able to turn side to side, and we can fix that by just drilling one screw right through. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal at all. And also try to clamp this pretty solid. A little creaky, but it shouldn't be an issue unless it's freakishly windy like it is today. That is super cool. I guess it's time to wash the windows again. And there it is. It looks great. It came out perfect. And it doesn't at all look obnoxious or out of place like I thought it might. And now we just wait for the sun to go down and it'll start up for the first time. It's getting darker out now. The front lights have just turned on, so let's go ahead and turn this one on as well. Alright, it just started up. This install came out absolutely fantastic. You have to be very careful when you're installing these things in the yard because they're out of place, and so they can very easily look ridiculous or obnoxious or overbearing. And I was concerned that the pole would look pretty bad because it's a mismatch to the color of the fence and it just looks out of place. But it actually doesn't. I think it looks fantastic. It's not a, it doesn't capture your attention when you look into the yard. And it's high up enough that here in the living room, you can see the light even if you're sitting down on the couch or the table. So it's going to be really cool to watch this come on every night as the sun goes down. The install was, it had some problems, but now that I've worked with it, I know that I can put the light onto the pole and then put the pole up, as opposed to having to put the light on at the top of the pole with the pole up. I thought it would be too heavy to put up, but it's not. I can do it just fine. The ugly LED street light on the street has turned on as well. I want to fill the yard with as many of these sodium lights as I can because there's really none of them left around here. They're being replaced so rapidly. I just had somebody type a comment today in one of my videos about these things, and the person said these are being replaced faster than a hazmat team would clean up some kind of, you know, like actual hazard. And it's true, these things are disappearing like crazy all of a sudden, and it's really a shame. These are very reliable, extremely high efficiency lights, and they never should have been replaced. These are also very good about light pollution. It's hard to tell right now because it's not quite dark enough, but once it gets darker, we'll see that the amount of light shining on the neighbor's house and into the neighbor's yard is next to nothing because the refractor is designed properly. In fact, I think we're going to find that pretty much no light is shining over there. Well, it looks like it's about up to full brightness now. Bright, it's getting this part of the yard pretty bright. I guess the wind kind of was okay in a sense because I got to see how sturdy the mount is. I was pleasantly surprised by how little the wind was pushing the light around, which I guess kind of makes sense because it's a rounded product, so it's not going to catch a lot of wind. And speaking of the wind, it looks like it's died down for a second, so let's go outside and take a look at it from the outside. It has gotten very, very cold out here, so we'll just look at it for a few minutes here. You can see how the pattern of light is kind of narrow and long, and that's because if this was next to a street, that's the kind of light that you would want. It doesn't cause light pollution this way or that way. It's just in the middle where the street would be. Now this is a great setup. It's economical too. Yeah, see very little lights going over there. Okay, well, I would call this install a shining success. It looks great.